have to send this link. For some reason, the link is being cray. Let's try this one. Don't worry, your comments still count. Okay. You guys, even it's Jamie Grace here. Welcome YouTube, welcome Patreon. I'm so glad that you guys are here, and I'm super excited to jump into today's exclusive live stream. If you're watching this on YouTube, then you're watching the replay. If you're watching this already right now, then that means you're part of the Patreon community and you're watching this first. So to everybody that's already commented, don't worry. Your comments from the other live stream are still there. They are time-stamped. And so I'm going to make sure that somebody's going to go in there and like double, triple check, and we're going to announce the winner of the Amazon gift card on Patreon. So don't worry. But I'm really glad that you guys are here, even through all of the crazy technical difficulties. I think this is going to be so much fun. This is an Ask Me Anything Q&A. And if you are a Patreon or a patron, sorry, then your questions come first. So you can comment your questions, literally whatever you guys want to know within reason. I'm going to answer your questions first, and then we have some from Instagram as well. And then if you think of any other questions throughout and you're like, oh wait, that made me think about this, but what about that? Then you can keep commenting and I will try to answer as many as I can. So for those of you guys that don't know, we've got something called a secret sentence over at Patreon, and this is our first time doing it. So it's whoever posts the secret sentence for the first time in the live chat, then they get to win an Amazon gift card. I think I know who the winner was, but like I said, it's going to be announced on Patreon. We're going to double and triple check it with all the timestamps and everything, just to make sure that, you know, everything's fair. So that is my first note. Yes, I have a notebook with my notes on it. My second note is honestly just to genuinely say thank you to everybody that is a patron. It's $5 a month for exclusive stuff. I hope that you guys are having fun with the random things I post, like new songs and, you know, early things and stuff like that. I really do appreciate the support. I'm an independent artist, and so you all contributing that every month, it means a whole lot to me. So thank you so much. The next thing is like, don't forget to comment your questions, and the next thing is for me to hit up questions from Instagram. So a question here from a patron is from Melissa. Hey Melissa, and hey Aurora. I'm just gonna say hey to you guys. Hey Passionate for God. That's a cool username because it has like the number 8 and like the 4. Hey Vanessa, what's up everybody? Glad you guys are here. And then I can't see everybody's name. It has like a thing where it says there's like more people, but I don't know how to find the names because I'm 100. So Melissa says, what do you do for self-care as a mom? You know, when I was pregnant, the biggest thing people kept telling me, like, sleep when the baby sleeps, sleep when the baby sleeps. And that just turned out to be not great advice for me personally, because even though I love to sleep, and when I can get a nap with my daughter, like that's really great. But when I wake up and she's awake right there, I feel kind of overwhelmed. I'm like, I needed some time for me to recharge. And so I think the number one thing with like what I do for self-care is I try to make sure that I remind myself that it's okay to not have everything together. Like, our living room, I was working out, it was like 2 days ago, because I really wanted to work out. I didn't even want to like burn a bajillion calories. I just wanted to have some fun. You know, I kind of like, I do Just Dance, and sometimes I'll listen like on my Nintendo, and sometimes I'll listen to like songs that are appropriate for the kid to be listening to. And so I just wanted to have fun and just dance in the living room. And the living room was kind of messy. Like, her toys were everywhere. And I thought to myself, oh, I need to clean up. And then I thought to myself, no, I'm going to, right in this moment, I'm going to do okay with having like a messy house. And me and my husband, we have like evenly distributed, you know, contributions that we make to keep the home clean and tidy and everything. But that's one thing that I have to remind myself with self-care is like, sometimes like it's okay if the living room is a little bit messy and you take some time to yourself. Like, it's okay. Because sometimes you only have like 10 minutes of the day to do something that's not related to being a wife or being a mom or being, you know, of keeping the house, whether you're a mom or a dad. And in those 10 minutes, I'm like, okay, am I going to go deep clean her bathtub? Or am I going to go listen to a podcast that I really want to listen to? So I think that that's the main thing for myself, is just being okay with taking time for myself, even if that means taking time away from something else. And also, honestly, having a really supportive family. My husband is so supportive, and my parents will be like, give us that baby and take a nap. But I'm like, thank you. So that's that, my 12-hour answer. Danielle Bebe, hey, what's your favorite? Are you in Canada or Europe? Favorite song that you've written? Okay. So I'm trying to answer this in a way of things that I can say to Patreon, but things that I'll say it to you guys, and then I'll probably just wait longer to put this out publicly. I like having a Patreon community, because like I could tell you guys stuff that I'm not supposed to tell anybody yet. This is fun. Okay, so I've been telling you guys I have an EP that's coming out in October. There's a song on there. It doesn't officially have a name yet. I think it's going to be called No Such Normal, or it might just be called Normal. I'm not really sure yet. But I think that's my favorite song I've ever written, because it's very like, it kind of sounds like, my sister said it sounds like Ben Folds and Travie McCoy. It's got like some rap in it, some weird piano stuff, and kind of some Amy Grant inspiration. It's quirky and it's weird, and it's like the story of my life, but also intentionally written to encourage other people that feel different. And so yeah, that one right now is one that I'm really proud of, but also 90s Kids, that one came out last week, or this month. So is that the fun song you played us a little bit of? I can't remember. I'm trying to think of which one I may have played you guys a little bit of. I meant to upload a video of a song that I'm putting on that EP. It's called Chance. It's not a fun song though. It's got a lot of emotions inside. So forgive me for not knowing which one that was. Oh, hi, Sarah. I just saw you comment for now. Okay, Aurora says, who is your favorite artist other than yourself and Morgan? Let's see. I listen to Common Hymnal a lot. They make really beautiful worship music that just speaks to the times. And I mean, it literally is like what it says. Like when you think about like old hymns, like Amazing Grace, like think about those songs being written in present times, and like, yeah, so their music really blesses me a lot. I like Kelly Clarkson a lot. I think that's really all. I listen to a lot of kids' music right now, so I listen to a lot of Doc McStuffins, and then there's this YouTube channel called CJ and Kids where they like sing and dance to like gospel songs for kids. So I listen to like mostly kids' music right now. Can you guys see how many? It's terrible. All the fingerprints on the laptop behind me. It's so bad. My sister's always like getting on me for that, because I'll like try to explain something on my laptop, and so I'll be like, this and this, and she's like, why do you have to touch it? You can just point to it. I'm like, I'm sorry, it's just how my brain works. Okay, Vanessa says, I was gonna ask about your hair care, but you kind of hit on it today on Insta. Yeah, I don't know where I was randomly like, let's talk about hair on Instagram. Yeah, Sarah, okay, then it was that song. That's okay. I'm honored that you remembered that. That was totally the song that I played for you guys on Patreon. Sometimes like I'll like share things with you guys, and then it's not that I like don't, not that it's not important to me. It's just the way that my attention span operates. I'll be like, let me tell you guys a story you've never heard, and my family's like, except you've been telling us that story every week since you were 5. So yeah, so my hair care. Yeah, I randomly start talking about that on Instagram today. Again, attribute it to my attention span, but kind of like my general hair situation. I wash it once a week, maybe twice a week. Just kind of depends. It gets like really oily really fast. So I wash my hair probably twice a week. And then I take like forever to detangle it. Like if I'm shampoo and conditioner, right now I'm loving, it changes a lot, but right now I'm loving Pattern Beauty shampoo. And then what conditioner am I using? I'm using Aussie conditioner because it takes about pound and a half of conditioner to detangle my hair. My hair gets really oily and really detangly. It's great. So use it to detangle it. And then I'll usually do like some jojoba oil, I think is how you say it, and some leave-in conditioner by either like Pattern or Aussie, or Miss Jessie's leave-in conditioner. And I'll usually, when I wash it, I just let it go for the day. Just whatever happens, happens. Just God be with the curls. You know what I mean? Just like, let's just go. I'm going back to like check the other live chat, make sure like nobody's there going, where are you? That would be so bad. So yeah, that's kind of my normal thing. And then when it dries, or the next day when it's dry, I blow dry it to like, or I just detangle it and just like, blah, 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 blah. And then I twist it. I'll do like one, I take all the twist and one, I'll do 2 big twists in the back. And I usually use Miss Jessie's for that, either like the multicultural curls or the pillow soft curls. I'm Black and I identify as Black. My mom is Black, my dad is Black, and they both identify as Black. But when you do your ancestry, you also find things about yourself that you may not have ever known. And so I found about a 40% European situation happening in my ancestry, which makes sense for my hair. Well, I mean, I see it's black hair and I'm proud of it, but it also helped me understand like, okay, girl, you might have to mix some other things in your hair. So sometimes I'll use like Tresemme and like stuff that's not made for like ethnic curls. I got to mix it together and figure out what's right. So yeah. You swear, oh, you still have right here, detangler and leave-in conditioner. Yeah, I've used that brand before. It wasn't great for my hair, but I have friends be with stuff. God be with the curls. That's actually a really fun thing. Ooh, what's tropical curls or tropical curls? You guys, the product problem. I always want to get like 155,000 different products. That is the problem with me. I'll go like extremes, which is why I wear it in protective styles. A lot of people think like, especially with Black women, they're like, oh, if you wear your hair in a protective style, it must mean because you don't like what's under there. It's like, no, I love it so much that I keep it in a protective style, because when I wear it like this, it takes a long time to do it. So I go through phases. Like I'll be like, I'm just gonna wear extensions for 6 months because I'll, you know, like in and out. I don't wear the same ones for 6 months, but because I don't feel like dealing with all this stuff. And then I'll take it out because I'm like, product. And then I get tired of buying product. Okay, so I'm going to, oh, do I plan on having Marching On merch? And P.S. I love the song. Thank you, Aurora. Yeah, we need to add some. So we're actually going to be adding a lot more merch soon. We're kind of like, this seems confusing and you guys don't have to remember this at all, but we're going to be adding a lot more shirts to Teespring. We have a lot more designs, and that was one of the reasons I was really excited that we were able to offer free shipping to everybody on Patreon for Teespring. And if you're just watching this on YouTube, then you can look below. Because my goal would be, like, I really want to just like make more shirts with like messages and stuff that I believe in, because my goal would be like, unless I have to like dress up and go somewhere, I want to live my life in like sweatpants and a t-shirt with a message. You know what I mean? It's like if I got to go to the grocery store, like I'll have on a shirt that says like Jesus Family Tacos. And then people are like, yes. Or they'll be like, who's Jesus? Tell me about him. Like whatever it is. Or just like it makes somebody smile, like even if we don't have a conversation. So that's like the kind of life I want to live. Just like sweatpants and fun tees. And so that's kind of like the vibe I want to go for 91. It's just like more fun shirts on like, what's it called? Teespring and stuff. I got some 91 pants. They're comfy. Yay! I'm so glad you love them. Yeah. I don't know how long we'll have the sweatpants there. So, you know, there's a few left, I think. You guys are so nice. Oh, my husband's calling me. Oops, I didn't mean to cancel the call. I meant to text him and say, hey, babe, I'm live streaming. Y'all okay? Okay. That's usually what he does when the baby's like, but where's my mom? And vice versa when I'm with her and she's like, so where's my dad? She's like always like wondering where the other parent is. Yes, my ringer is Kim Possible, which I thought was a great idea. But now that we have Disney Plus, we've been binge watching Kim Possible, and it's kind of like annoying because every time the phone rings on Kim Possible, I'm like looking for my phone. And we've been binge watching Kim Possible. My husband's been binge watching Kim Possible. I've seen like some episodes, but it, like age difference wise, no, it's okay. He said, "Oh, my bad." Age difference wise, I think he just like grew up on more Kim Possible than I did. What am I talking about? Oh yeah, so every time it's like on, I'll be like, and I'm like, oh, that's not even my phone. Danielle said excited for my sweatshirt to come in. Ooh, I mean, you're a patron. I'm pretty sure I can check and see when your sweatshirt's going to get delivered. I don't like to share that kind of information just like totally publicly, which I guess I technically just did, so maybe I shouldn't have. But like, you know, patrons, I can be like, hey, sending important email to delivery. When is Danielle Baby's email or sweatshirt getting delivered? Okay, so let me guess if you have some more questions. I'm going to answer some questions on Insta too. Someone said, which High School Musical is the best? These are so random but great. 1, 3, 2. That's the order of importance. What are your favorite movies? That's a long list of a lot of things. We've got Annie, Princess Diaries, Finding Neverland, Follow the Stars Home. I'm crying deeply. Also, last night, thank you, Vanessa. Last night, we watched, did I just unstream? Not unstream, but am I gone? Can you guys still see me? It says that my connection is unstable. I pay way too much for this monthly internet to be unstable. Oh, wait, am I back? You guys gotta let me know if you still see me. It said that my connection was unstable. It better not be. Oh, okay. Sorry. I was about to like call whoever it is, Comcast or Cox or AT&T. I don't know who it is. Be like, excuses you. So yeah, I pay. Internet's expensive. I didn't know that it was. Not. Oh man, that made me sound kind of annoying. Not like that. Where we've lived before, we lived in an apartment for like beginning of marriage, and so it like came like it was like a package. And now we don't. And so it's like you have to like get it separately. And I'm just like, ugh. I hate it. Come on, like that's money. Like that's like you work for that stuff. That's so nice. I'm sorry, it keeps buffering, guys. I'm gonna just keep answering questions and then oh, I'm so sorry. And then if you guys like want like a question like re-answered or something, you can totally just comment down below. Okay, so let's see. How did you make friends when you were a teenager? Sometimes it feels hard for me. You know, I have my sister, so that was like a built-in friend, which is I'm really grateful for. Also, I was one of those like really like insecure but confident kids. Like I could get my feelings hurt really fast and I was really insecure, but at the same time, I would easily go up to somebody with a pink book bag and be like, guess what my favorite color is. So yeah, I wasn't afraid to put myself out there and to just try to, you know, talk to people. And I'm not saying that made like that gave me friends. Sometimes it didn't give me friends at all. But I was just like, well, I guess I'll have to try again. You know, I was a very optimistic and resilient kid, even in my insecurities. And then the other thing I would say is that every time you're in a room and it looks like everybody's hanging out but you, I always say that if you look a little harder, you will more than likely find someone that also looks like they're alone. So I think it's just important to look for that person too, because in a room of 100 people, like a school cafeteria or whatever, I'm sure there's someone else that's sitting around kind of not laughing as much and feeling kind of lonely. And I think oftentimes we just need to be the friend that we want to have for someone else. And then you end up having and being the friend. So it's like a win-win situation. Let's see, chocolate. Do you have any opinions on it? Also, would Jesus enjoy ice cream? Super random, I know. I feel like Jesus would enjoy ice cream. I mean, I can't say for sure, you know, I don't want to make it seem like that's a theological answer. But yeah, I feel like he would have, like, because I mean, for the most part, like it comes from what, like cows and stuff. So like Jesus, I wouldn't put like on a shirt, like Jesus made the cows, like direct correlation. But you know what I mean? Like, I feel like it's kind of like, yeah, he probably would, but I don't want to say that like it's a theological answer. My opinions on chocolate, I like very minimal chocolate things. I used to hate all chocolate, but I'm growing and learning in that. Usually cookies and cream type stuff. So I guess it's like what, white chocolate. Yeah, it just depends. Vanessa says, you got on YouTube before it was cool. Thank you. But how'd you start? I'm trying to get out there, but I feel too old. 32 here. 32 is not old. Nobody's old, except we all are. I don't know. Okay. Man, I think that there is a place for everybody that knows their voice and is consistent and confident in sharing it. You know, I think if the goal is to have millions of views every week, that might feel like, okay, this is irrational. If the goal is to make it your full-time job, that also might feel kind of out of reach, and maybe, you know, maybe it's not like everybody can go to YouTube, just quit your job and go. But if it's for the sake of sharing a message with someone, whether that's to make people laugh or to educate them, whatever it might be, I think there's a place for everyone. I just think context is everything, you know. I think, I don't know anything about you, Vanessa, or forgive me if I might, and the name's not clicking or something like that. But I mean, my guess would be like, let's take your average 32-year-old and let's just say, okay, 32-year-old person, make a YouTube video about how to get famous on TikTok and watch that video blow up. Like, that's probably not going to blow up. But it's like, okay, well, what is your voice? Like, what do you, how can you speak to people? You know, are you a newlywed? Maybe you can make videos about, like, you know, being a newlywed in your 30s. Are you single? Maybe you can make videos about, you know, what you do late at night that is relatable to other 30-somethings that are wondering why everybody on YouTube is a mom blogger. You know what I mean? It's like, I think everybody has a voice on YouTube, and can have a voice, but the expectation and the context or the expectation of like, oh, we're all gonna get, like, you know, macro famous, like, that's just irrational. I have to kind of come to grips with that, because I mean, I've been doing YouTube for 15, I think this month is my 15-year anniversary, and I don't know, sometimes I struggle with that. I'm like, I see like the David Dobrik's and the Liza Koshis, and I'm like, wait guys, I mean, you guys want to collab? I'm like, no, okay. You know, like, and that's not me like dogging them or anything, but it's hard sometimes, like, as somebody that's like been doing YouTube for a long time, which I think both of them have as well. You know, it's hard, like, just looking back and being like, okay, well, where do I fit in? You know, to post a video and get 7,000 views. In my head, I can be like, oh my gosh, like, I'm not successful, you know, in that way, like the comparison thing. But I'm like, no, that's 7,000 people that took the time to watch what I had to say. Like, that means a lot. And so just figuring out what your voice is and finding the confidence in your voice and sharing that contextually, I think helps. Thank you. I appreciate that. That's really nice of you to say. I'm reading the comment about just talking about Blackness and systemic racism. You know, I don't think a lot of people would want to just face the truth. I was thinking about it today, because I know a lot of people are like, oh, like, we're all the same. Like, if we talk about how we're different, it's division. And most of those people, and I don't want to get in trouble for saying this, but I'm going to say it. Most of those people are in marriages with someone of the opposite gender. And I just wonder, like, so do you feel like you're different from them? Or are y'all the same? Or like, so it's okay for you as like a woman to be like, I want to marry someone who's different. I want to marry a man. But it's not okay for me as a Black person to be like, I'm different, I'm Black. You see what I mean? It's like, when we talk about gender, it's okay to talk about what makes us different. But like the color of my skin, which you can actually look at me and tell as Black, we can't talk about that. It's just weird. I don't understand how talking about how we're different divides us. That makes no sense to me. Because I think if we were all the same, then we'd all have the same car, the same house, we would all shop at the same grocery store, buy the same things, eat the same food. Like, we're not the same, but I think that's what's cool about it. Like, if we didn't want to be different, then every time you go to a restaurant, you don't get to order anymore. This is the meal that you're being served. I don't want to live in that kind of world. Let me pick up my own buffalo chicken wrap. That's what I'm going to get everywhere I go, a buffalo chicken wrap. Let me pick it out myself. And don't make it a barbecue chicken wrap. I don't like when I ask, when I go to a restaurant and I ask, do you have anything with buffalo chicken? Which I do everywhere I go, even if it's not on the menu. I have to trust there might be a certain menu. ask everywhere I go, do you have a buffalo chicken in anything? And they always say, no, but we have barbecue chicken. No, Sheila, that is not the same thing. Danielle, baby. Sorry, I don't know your, I'm sorry, I don't know how to say your last name, Danielle. Frozen 1 or 2, if you've watched both, which one do you like better? I've seen them both a million times. I think I like 1 better just because when I saw it, I was just like, woo, 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 woo. It was just like a whole new world. It was just great. It was just new, it was different, it was odd, it was great. But now I'm kind of falling in love with Frozen 2. I mean, I enjoyed it when I saw it. The music is great. And also I'm watching the behind the scenes on Disney Plus right now. It's taking me weeks to watch anything that doesn't keep Isabella's attention because life, motherhood. But yeah, so I'm enjoying the behind the scenes. And so it's giving me more respect for the forefront, more respect for the actual film. Not that I lacked it before, but yeah, I think overall, though, out of both movies, the best part about Frozen 1 and Frozen 2 combined, the best part is in Frozen 2, Olaf's reimagining his retelling of Frozen 1. So I feel like that scene is the best of both worlds because it's Frozen 1 and Frozen 2, and it is geniusly, so perfectly written. Josh Gad is amazing, and animators, I mean, killed it. That is the best part of both movies, hands down. Aurora says, is there another channel for your first YouTube video, the homeschooler one? Yeah, it's on my first channel. I don't know if it's still out there or what. So that's that. I signed with a kids TV show like 10 years ago. I did a couple. Yeah. If you type in Jamie Grace YouTube or Jamie Grace Homeschool on YouTube, this is so embarrassing. Why am I letting y'all see this? If you type in Jamie Grace Homeschool, where is it? You see it? That second one, it's the second one that comes up. Oh, it's so embarrassing. Kid. Jamie Grace Homeschool on YouTube. Oh, I was such a little nerd. And then Vanessa said, agree, I'm Hispanic, married to a Black and white man, love our differences. Yeah, I mean, I think it's so cool to embrace the differences that we have. My sister's husband is Hawaiian, Chinese, and white. And I remember the first time, it was my second time going to Hawaii, but my first time going there, like with my sister and her husband, and so their family. And oh my gosh, I mean, the first time in Hawaii was great because I was with friends that were basically family. But the second time, like, I was with family, and I learned so much about culture, and I can only imagine what it would be like if we were all the same. Actually, I don't even want to imagine. It sounds terrible. But getting to just embrace a whole new culture. Oh my gosh, I get chills thinking about it. It was so much fun. God created all this. Passionate says, God created all this beautiful diversity. Nothing wrong with discussing it. Jesus left the 99 for the one. Exactly. I love that. Okay, favorite candle scent. And these are random ones I'm reading from Insta again. So I would definitely say water. Sounds weird. I don't think I have any up here. I think they're all downstairs because the whole family's obsessed at this point. My favorite candle ever smells like water, and it's really good. Let's see. What's my favorite food to eat? Oh, I think I kind of just answered that. So I like a few things, but they all not like a Venn diagram, or maybe it is a Venn diagram. But it's like I like a few different things. Like I'm a really picky eater, but you never know it. I try to keep it a secret because I don't like to, not a secret, but I don't like when you go out to eat and like I don't like to be that person that's like, oh, because I was that person, like secretly. So I like chicken, but not large chickens with bones. That like a chicken leg or like a chicken thigh with like a bone in it, or like the wing where the one goes back there. I don't like that, but like a chicken wing. Oh yeah. So I like chicken. I like hot sauce. I like kale. Mostly any green veggie, honestly. I just got into Brussels sprouts. It's not going to be a thing that I do, but I'm fine with them, you know. I like carrots. I like most veggies. And then I like cheese excessively. I have a problem, you know, gift problem. So those are like my main 4 food groups: veggies, chicken, hot sauce, and cheese. So anything that kind of crosses those 4 things, or just 2 of them, like a chicken salad would be great. But you know what would make it better? A buffalo chicken salad with a ton of cheese, right? I also like hot wings, but oh, you know what my fifth favorite food group is? Potatoes. Well, that's a vegetable. Yeah, so I like hot wings, but what would also make it better? Buffalo chicken hot wing French fries with cheese. So those are my four main food groups, and I just basically mix them up. And because I'm from the South, if I had to add a fifth one, I would add heavy cream. But that kind of goes with cheese because it's dairy. So yeah. I'm from Wisconsin, so I also excessively love cheese. See, Sarah, you understand. You get it. Let's see. These are interesting questions. Hi. Oh, that's not a question, but that was a really nice comment. I feel like uncomfortable like reading like compliments out loud in a Q&A. You're so pretty. That's actually not one of them. I was just being but yeah, I just prefer to read questions. How do you deal with daydreaming? I don't feel like I deal with it. I feel like I just let it happen. Or I just talk about it out loud, and then if it gets weird, I just hush or run away. Just being honest, I'm always just like, and I'll just start talking about what's happening in my brain, and if it feels weird, then I'll just try to be quiet or run away if I can't be quiet. Let's see. These are some interesting questions. I'm only slightly jealous of y'all lactose. Oh, no, you're lactose intolerant? I mean, there's good. I've had cashew queso. That was actually really good. Like, really good. Now, granted, at the same party that I was eating it at, a Super Bowl party earlier this year before quarantined, we also had regular queso. I did not eat a lot of the cashew queso. It was like, this is good. Don't give me that dairy. You know what I mean? But it was still good. It was cool. Thank you. I appreciate it. These, it's funny. I actually have these up. The main reason I have these up is because I wouldn't call it an obsession, but I do love my big sister dearly. And so she designs most of my merch. So I have these up because I really like her work. So yeah, it makes them heart happy. And then also I have them up because I try to write music that also inspires me. And so work hard, pray more, dream big. Like, I've been in some songwriting circles. When I do this is my like not sarcastic. This is my genuine, like, Lord help me say this in a way that is not like prideful or rude. But I've been in some songwriting sessions where the goal was to like make music that influenced people into action. So like to buy merch or to attend shows. I'm like, if that's your prerogative, like that's your prerogative. But I try to make music that two things. Either music that is just something that I want to share, or the second thing would be music that just influences people and blesses them to do things in their own life. And if those people then go buy merch and buy stuff, then awesome. But my goal, I don't try to make music to fuel cash flow. Now, I'm a businesswoman and I have no shame in running my business properly. But in the specific songwriting session where I'm talking about, I'm not sitting there going, oh, this is going to make them spend money, or this is going to make me famous, or you know what I mean? I try to make it for like either I'm writing this from my own heart or someone else's heart in their life. If I can do both of those, then that's awesome. And then the double icing on the cake would be, ooh, they went out and bought merch or came to a show. I hope I explained that right. If I didn't, I'm really sorry, but I really tried to. So with that being said, Dream Big was one of those that did both. Like, I wrote it for myself because I needed to be reminded that, like, look, it's okay that you're an independent artist and things might look different now. Even though I've been indie for 5 years, like 4 years, I still have to remind myself of that. It's okay if your Instagram is not as popular as your big sister's. Like, it's okay if your hair is not as long as your big sister's. Like, I'm just being honest, like, these are things that I have to remind myself of for my own self-confidence. And so work hard, pray more, dream big was like, yeah, boo, work hard, pray more, dream big. And then thank you, Vanessa, I appreciate that. And then if I can also bless other people with that message, then I'm like, yeah, it's like, look, we did both. You see what I mean? And then the double icing on the cake is like the cool thing for me would be like in 20 years, there's like, and I don't like in 20 years, there's some girl named Allison that starts a nonprofit that changes people's lives in her hometown of Austin, Texas. Like she just changes people's lives, right? And then she's sitting in an interview on a local radio station, and they say, Allison, how did you think to start this nonprofit? And she says, you know, when I was 5 years old, my mom played me the song that said, work hard, pray more, dream big. Like that to me is like, if Allison forgets what my name was, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know if the message of that song like empowers her to like fuels her, like that's cool. But the double icing on the cake, the bonus is if you buy my merch and come to my shows, like that's really cool. Except what are shows, but a pre-COVID existence. Let's see. Okay, Danielle said, y'all are really nice, thank you. Danielle said that her last name rhymes with Abby. Danielle Abby. I still like calling you baby, but you might not like that. I'm sorry. What is something important you learned about homeschooling during your schooling years? I learned that homeschooling, this is no diss on public school, no diss on private school, but I think the best way to explain it is explain my life now. You know, people ask like, how do you like, you do so many things, like you are, excuse me, you're making music, you're a mom, I was about to say you're a dad. I'm not. I was trying to think of like what's the name of the man that I married? A husband. I have a husband. So I have people be like, yeah, like you make music, like you're a full-time wife, obviously, full-time mom. Those things don't come part-time. Like you're doing this. Well, man, I just almost went deep. But people are just always like, how do you do all this stuff? And I like to remind people, I'm no more talented than the next guy. Next girl. I'm no more talented than anybody else. I'm just very focused. Even though I have very serious ADHD, I'm very focused. And one of the main reasons why I think I'm so focused is because I was homeschooled. Because when you're homeschooled, it's not about somebody standing there over your shoulder or even in a room with you, making sure you're doing your work. When you're homeschooled, for the most part, everybody homeschools differently. But for the way that our homeschool was formatted, I mean, by the age of like 12 or like 8, it just depends on what class it was. That's a big age gap. I don't even know exactly what age. But from a young age, you better know how to do your homework in the same room with all your toys, all your games, all your books, all your technology. It's like you don't have that choice. A lot of people are like, if they go to like a traditional school, it might be like, oh, you can't play with, your stuff until you're home from school. So it's like hidden away in the living room while you're doing your homework somewhere else. That's not how it works for homeschool. You might be sitting on the couch while your sister's playing Game Boy and you still have homework to do. You still have schoolwork to do, whatever you call it. So I think that's one of the main lessons that I learned in life, honestly, was from being homeschooled, of just knowing how to focus even when there are a ton of distractions around. And learning what worked for me. One thing my mom let me do, she let me stand up and work because it worked well for my ADHD. So I'd be like doing this, like reading in the corner and stuff. Like it was helpful, bro. Like it was really helpful. So that was one thing that my mom did a lot for us. Just like let us learn how we needed to learn so that we could focus how we needed to focus. And that really changed my life now as an adult. I mean, so I think it's what helped my sister and I both excel not excel like I'm so smart, but I did well in college for the most part. Not science, dear Lord. I don't know why they make you take biology in college. That's just not nice. But I did pretty well in college. And I think a lot of it's because I knew how to work independently. I knew how to work on my own. I knew how to, like, being in a dorm and having a bunch of people being loud down the hallway and going to go hang out when you have homework. It's not hard for most homeschoolers because that's the story of our lives. One of the most popular questions, oh my goodness, was, are you going to have any more kids? I don't know if you guys can hear that, but as my daughter screams in the background, she like perfected screaming 70 hours ago, like perfected it. It's awesome. Yeah, that's such a hard question because it's one that it depends on what day you catch me on. I'll either be like really open about it, like, oh my gosh, like how long, or I'll be like, why do you want to know? You know, it just depends. What kind of day you catch me on. Um, Isabel won't be our only child if it's up to us, you know, but that's we feel like that's up to God's timing and His wisdom to speak in, you know, let me how we hear His wisdom in our lives, like how we choose to receive wisdom from the Lord. There we go. I phrased it how I wanted to phrase it. So yeah, I don't think Isabel will be our only child. Um, it's crazy. It's like you always have what you want. You know, I would want to have 8,000 children. I want to help eradicate the foster care system. But at the same time, it's like the Lord then will put on my heart, like, okay, so kids are in foster care. So you want to adopt all of those children, or you want to help those families rebuild so that reunification is what happens. You know what I mean? Like, I know that's kind of random, but that's just kind of where my mind always goes. And so I'm just like, you know what, Lord, like, who knows? I don't know. Someone said, I forget how forthright some people are. You guys, your minds will be blown at the stuff people send. I think a lot of people send really intense questions because y'all are funny. I think a lot of people send people intense questions because I think people forget that in the Instagram DMs, I can still see like who sent it. So, like, as people get really personal. I mean, because the other thing about it is like, I'm really sarcastic and I'm really goofy. And so, like most people on the internet, like if you're old enough to have a smartphone and, you know, watch this live stream, you know how babies are made. So the petty, sarcastic side of me, like, wants to be like, so what are you really asking? Because like I feel like it's kind of a personal question. But at the same time, one of my friends texted, not close friends. Well, we're close. We're cool. I think a dear friend. She's a dear friend. She texted me today. She's like, I don't know if this is more personal, but you think you're gonna have more? And she just recently got married. So the reason why she was asking, I think it totally made sense. But we're not like 1 a.m. text buddies, but we're I don't know. It's weird. This is my thing. I think that yes, there are definitely questions that are too personal. And I think it's weird to ask certain people's questions because I don't even remember everything I just said, but just you don't know what the answer is going to be. Because like hypothetically, I hope no one is like 12 watching this. And if you are, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this very discreetly, right? If hypothetically I was like trying to have a baby right now, and if you don't know what that means, then fine, just let it go over your head. Is that the answer y'all want? Nobody needs that visual. So like, I struggle. I struggle because when people say, do you want more kids? They don't really want the answer. People don't really want the answer. Because if I actually give you the answer, you're going to feel like a creeper. If I were to actually tell you my plans, you would feel so uncomfortable that you would probably never look at me or my husband the same if you'd ever look at us again. And if you did look at us again, then you more creepier than I thought. So, I don't know. I feel like, yeah, I don't know. Okay, Aurora. Okay, good. Aurora's mom said it's okay that I said that. Aurora's mom is laughing. So, we're okay. If anybody's mad, take it up with Miss Corley. She said I could say it. She didn't directly say it, but she's laughing with her 13-year-old right now. So I think, you know, it's allowed. Okay, I'm going to go through some more. So that's my thing. It's like, yes, it's a personal question, but two, do you want the answer? No, you don't. So just ask about my favorite pizza toppings. Okay. You guys are, I love you guys. I'm excited about this. Yeah, this is fun. I'm glad that we're going to be doing this. If I'm honest, when it comes to Patreon, I want to do these more often because right now I have them scheduled to do 4 a year. I'd like to get up to 6 a year, but we'll see. I want to make sure that I don't like overcommit and like under-deliver. Be like, oh my gosh, guys, this is so fun. Let's do it every day. And then I never come back. Can you draw? No, but I can show you guys. I'm way too excited about this. Okay. So you guys should pick something that I can draw, and then I'm gonna draw it for you guys. And I can't draw, but for whatever reason, I'm choosing to draw right now, live on the internet. So you guys can just pick any random thing and within reason, and I will draw pizza. I feel like everybody can draw pizza. Thank you, Aurora, because it'll be easy because it's just a triangle. So you make the pizza crust, right? Someone said, "What's your favorite pizza topping?" Buffalo chicken. And then you make the pizza. Yeah, so maybe I should have said, yes, I can draw. Because obviously, that is gorgeous. And then you just draw some cheese. Seriously. I don't know why I said I couldn't draw. You gotta make a plate. That's why I don't draw. That's the plate. And if it's a Pizza Hut plate, it's got that border around it. Man, I miss Pizza Hut buffets, bro. You got a soda. That looks like an alcoholic beverage, which I do not personally consume. So maybe if I draw a straw, it'll look a little more appropriate. It's a Shirley Temple. That's why it's like that. It's got the lines on the cup. Somebody else said make a buffalo chicken wrap. I don't know how you draw a buffalo chicken wrap, but oh, here we go. This one, I made a buffalo chicken wrap. It has foil paper wrapped around it. The best wraps come, no, I know you're just kidding about the pizza. I just wanted to answer it because I like talking about food. The best wraps come with foil paper wrapped around half of it. That is how you know you're at a good restaurant. So that's foil paper. Pizza Hut in New York, where you live are closing. I apologize for that deeply rooted piece of pain. That sounds sarcastic, but I mean it. Okay, guys, so this is my pizza, the pizza with the plate. It's a Pizza Hut plate. That's why there's a border. That is a buffalo chicken wrap. That is a Shirley Temple Virgin. And that is a straw. And that is foam. I don't think it has foam. It's whipped cream. Oh, I'm amazing. Okay. Favorite musicals? Oh my gosh, all of them. Annie, Wicked, Hamilton. What's your name, man? Yeah, they're all so great. I love musicals. What programs do you use to edit your YouTube videos? I use Final Cut Pro. I love it. How do you stay in shape during quarantine after a baby? A queen. Thank you. Thank you. She could be asking this like, so when are you going to stay in shape? How would you if you were interested? Or I'm going to choose that she's saying, Jamie Grace, how do you do that? How do I do it? Let me tell you. It's so crazy. The first, my daughter is 13 months, almost 14 months. I usually just say like she's 1, but just for the context of the story, she's for almost 14 months. And motherhood is hard. Especially, I think motherhood is hard on anyone. But just dealing with the mental health complexities that I already deal with, pregnancy is really hard on me. Another reason why I think it's weird to just ask people like, so when are you going to do it again? And I'm like, I don't know, when I can afford vitamins. That's not really what it is, by the way. But that could be. And I mean that genuinely. So pregnancy was really hard for me mentally and emotionally. And it's weird because sometimes I feel like if I could have just like stayed at home with my family, I would have been okay. But a lot of times it was like other people that I wasn't that close to, like opinions and commentary, that was really difficult. A lot of people on the internet asking to see the baby bump. That made me so uncomfortable because I was like, you mean my stomach? Why y'all trying to look at my stomach? Y'all ain't never seen my stomach before. And now you want to see, what does that mean? So I really struggled with just like so many different opinions and comments and just so many different like things just flooding my head and my heart, from people that I knew personally that I wasn't that close to, and then people on the internet. And you kind of can't really avoid it. I mean, even still, like people say all kinds of stuff to you in the store. People reach out to touch your stomach all the time. Pregnancy was just really hard. And so then on top of that, having a baby emotionally and mentally, it was really challenging for me. And I went through some different challenges. I've shared a little bit. I won't, name anything specifically, but I had a really difficult time emotionally and mentally for a long time. So with that, like for most people, it made me struggle physically. And I just started just total transparency. I like sharing this stuff because I think that it could help somebody else. And I went through this season of like, what does my body look like? I had some people like online, like when I get pregnant, I'm going out in a bubble. I'm telling you, I almost did. I'm too sarcastic for entitled strangers. They would reach out to touch me and I'd be like, oh, so we touch your bellies? And they'd get so uncomfortable. And I'm like, well, you touched mine. Well, you tried to touch mine. Nobody actually ever made it to my belly. Because I would smack their hand, like legit, be like, oh, don't touch me. Ew. What if that's just a lot of food I ate? But I struggle with like what I would ask myself the question all the time, like, what is my body? Because like I'm like a lot of people that I knew that I wasn't very close with, that would just like text me, or people online, or people in the store. People want to know like, when are you gonna lose the baby weight? But then other people are like, ooh, look at you looking voluptuous. It's like, I didn't know what I wanted to look like for the longest time. I'm like, I don't want to go back to looking like my 25-year-old single self. Like I like the fact that my body looks like I had a kid. Some people don't, and that's okay. But for me, like I would look at my body and it would be so different than the body I had 5 years ago. But I would look at my body and be like, but you carried a child. It's supposed to be different. But then I would have insecure days too. So I say all of that to say, for like the longest time, I wasn't doing anything to get in shape or to stay in shape, because I was like, do I have to? Is that a rule? And who made that rule? Some guy on Instagram? Some lady in my extended family that's way too much of my business anyway? A friend of a friend of a friend from college that has access to my Facebook? Like some random woman in the grocery store? Who makes the rules as to what my body looks like? What does it even mean? Health has always been a priority for me. I've always been one that like, I will eat like salad after salad after salad, but it's not because I'm like, oh my God, I'll be skinny. It's just like, I love salad. So I was healthy, but I struggle with what does that mean for the visual aspect of I hope that makes sense. So to answer her question, how do you stay shape in quarantine after a baby? Like the day that California got locked down, the day it got locked down. Because I went to the gym like probably 3 months. When she was about 3 months old, I started going to the gym, and I was like, this ain't it. Nope. Then like a month later, I was like, just kidding, I'm gonna go. And then I went again, and I was like, nope. I tried to get back into kickboxing. It just wasn't fun anymore. And then I went into a random phase for like 3 weeks. I was boxing again, and I was like doing weightlifting, and I was just like, nope. I just kept changing my mind because I just couldn't. I wanted to do something that brought me joy. I didn't want to do anything for someone else. I didn't want to do anything so that people could be like, wow, you got your body back. I was like, well, what does that even mean? What if I don't want my old body? What if I want to look like I birthed a baby? But the day that quarantine, I kept trying a bunch of random stuff and didn't really find joy in it. And the day that they said California was going to be on shutdown, they were like, midnight tonight, lock down, midnight tonight, California's locking down, shutting down, whatever, quarantined. I said to Aaron, I'm going to work out every day, quarantine. You got to go. So he hopped in the car and he drove all over everywhere, and we found what I really wanted was a Nintendo Switch so I could do Just Dance and Ring Fit Adventure, because I just wanted to have fun. I didn't want to work out so my body could look like it used to look when I was single and I had no kids. I don't want my body to look like anybody else's. I just want to feel good and have fun. And working out feels so great for someone with anxiety. And so I was like, I just want to have fun. So it was really hard to find it. So we had to drive like 2 hours round trip or something like that. He went and found me the game that I wanted and found me, found me the Ring Fit Adventure game. And I've been doing that like 3 to 4 days a week during quarantine. And like I've lost some pounds, but that's not been, I don't know, like that's just not the goal. I've been having fun and I'm healthy, and that's the most important thing of all of it. So I feel like that was like a 7 or 8 minute answer, but just want to be transparent. Just want to make sure I don't know, just want to share that little tidbit with you guys. And then sometimes I'll like take like a week off because I'm like, I don't want to because I'm go wrong. And then I go back to next week and I'm okay. So it's cool. I'm enjoying it. I think that's the most important thing. We all got to be active some kind of way. Take a walk, do some jump ropes, dance, a push-up, a sport. Y'all got to do something. But it's got to be something you love, and you can't do it for anybody else. You got to do it. You got to do it for you. Vanessa said, yes, girl, I've always been a medium girl, a little on the bigger side, but finding the right reason is what's been hard. Right. I get that because you want to do it for you, right? You want to do it. And again, I don't know if you're married. I don't know if you have any kids, but that was another thing too. It's like my husband, he is like so encouraging and supportive no matter what I might, look like or what the scale is, if I have weave in my hair, if I'm wearing my hair, if I have on makeup or not. He's so encouraging and always like, you look good, you beautiful, hey queen. Like and not like in a sarcastic way all the time. We're really goofy, but he is genuinely encouraging. But I have to remind myself like, bro, I'm not doing this so that my husband will be attracted to me. I mean, that's part of it. Like, it's nice for it's like, I'm not getting into all that right now. Like, yeah, that's a bonus part of it. And I'm not, and yes, I want to be able to be fit. And I am fit enough to be able to run around with my daughter and stuff, but that's not the reason I'm doing it. I have to make sure that I'm doing this for me. I have to do this for like, that's so good to have an encouraging husband. I have to make sure that the main reason is like God gave me this body. And I want to take care of it. That's it. That is the main reason I take care of myself. Everything else is a bonus. Everything else is like, and also my husband loves me, and I want to make sure that I stay around so that we can be best friends forever. And my daughter loves me, so I want to make sure that I stay healthy so I can play with her. That stuff. That's all bonus stuff. Important bonus stuff, but bonus stuff. Okay, guys, we are almost at an hour. So I want to make sure that there were, not that there were no more, but if there are any more questions here on Patreon that you guys have, I'm going to go ahead and lock this up. If there are any more questions here on Patreon that you guys have, I do want to say thank you again for you guys joining me. This is really so much fun. And so I'm really glad that we did it. Aurora says, I have 5 types of anxiety. Wow. OCD and TS. Do you have any tips? The first thing that comes to mind, honestly, I don't know if you guys can see it back here. I keep it covered because I do a lot of videos with my stuff in the background. And so I don't like it to have the full display of my personal business. I'm trying to like point to it. This one. Wait. Oh my gosh. Which way am I going? Aurora, you're fine. Don't apologize. I'm just terrible. Knowing my left from my right. That's a schedule. I don't know how to, yeah. No, you're fine. I wanted to know if you guys had any more questions. So that's my schedule. I find for my OCD, for my anxiety, both, that having a schedule for myself is so good. It just makes me feel like I can control something. Because sometimes with OCD, I try to control everything. It's like, I have to touch this, I have to feel this, I have to think that, I have these obsessive thoughts. Like, I feel like I can't control my mind. I feel like I can't control my body because my tics. I feel like I can't control my stress because of my anxiety. There's so much that feels out of control. So I have this schedule. It's every day of the week. Saturday and Sunday are the same. And then I have it organized by hour. And it's just a general guideline of things for me to do every day. If I don't get to those things every day, then that's okay. You guys are actually on there every Wednesday at 3. Ironically, Wednesday at 3, I have Patreon. So that really helps me. It really helps me feel at peace. And sometimes I make, like lists and stuff. Sometimes I make lists for things that aren't even practical or realistic, but it just helps calm me down. Like I was so excited when I found out that I was pregnant, but then I started getting scared of just like all the things that could go wrong. I was like, what if I'm a bad mom? What if she doesn't like me? Like, what if she's not cute? Like all this stuff that I was getting scared about. And Aaron was like, plan. You love to make a list. You love to plan. So like I started making a list of like where I'm gonna take her for all her birthdays. And like that stuff may never happen, but just making that list and writing it all out, journaling, it just really helps put me at ease and really helps me rest. And so hopefully that's a helpful tip for you. Also, I love that you're watching this with your mom. And I mean, not to like make you guys feel awkward or anything, but I feel like she's probably a really cool mom. Not because like cool moms watch Jamie Grace. That could be a shirt. Cool moms listen to Jamie Grace. I don't know. That sounds conceited. I just thought it was funny. So not that like I'm trying to say that she's cool for watching this, but the fact that you guys are spending time together right now, I feel like that makes her a cool mom. That your mom just sat with you for anywhere from like 5 minutes to an hour to watch a live stream. That's really cool of your mom. And so, yeah, I feel like having supportive parents is a big deal, and able to be like, today was terrible. Like, okay, I'll share this with you guys and then I'm gonna head out. I told my mom, I think yesterday, I didn't have a great day yesterday. I didn't have a great day yesterday. The baby didn't have a great day yesterday. It was rough. And so my parents are out of town right now. And so they like live 2 places, but they're being like very safe and still quarantining. So I texted her like this long text. That's the baby sleeping. And I was like, you can't even see what I said. But I was like, both of your girls are having a rough day. When are you coming home? And then I was like, Aaron's been really great, but I want my mom. Like I just sent her this like long text. And I just want you guys to see the length of, oh my goodness. Congratulations, phone. Here we go. Here we go. Oh, wait. It's gonna happen. There we go. Silly and encouraging. And my favorite part was the end where it says, I'm sorry for the delay, but I fell asleep while I was texting. As all moms do. It was just great and it was encouraging. So it's good to have supportive people, and it's even a bonus if it's like mom or dad or best friend, husband. Honestly, whoever it is. They're an encouraging, supportive person that just like loves you and gives you supportive words. Like that's really great. Okay, guys, thank you so much for doing this. You guys are so much fun. Winner for the Amazon gift card is going to be announced today or tomorrow. I think tomorrow. I think today. I'm sorry. I meant to say today. You guys are great people. I'm really hungry. Did I eat lunch? Yes, I had a quesadilla. But it's 4 o'clock. It's time for lunch number 2. Or a snack. Whatever. Have a great Wednesday. Oh, man. Whew, I was trying to hold that note till it was over, but it didn't end.